as far as, because I was just gonna wait till you got through all of them and then ask my question. If you would like me to do that, that's fine. I had a question about the restatement, but I
No,
was
sure,
gonna
please.
wait to, because there's a specific thing where in your study schedule, it had a link to sufficient assumption questions, and then it grouped them together by what you're going through right now. And yeah, I'm like, oh, I got this. It's restatement. That's easy. When I was looking through them, I'm like, wait a minute. The one I chose was the right one, but I didn't see it as a restatement. And I tried to diagram, and I still didn't see it as a restatement. So it could have been something with my diagram, or I don't know. But yeah, it's like I got it right, but I just didn't see it as it. And I don't want me to do another problem and then, the same thing happens.
That's a good question. Yeah. So first off, of course, these are the ideal types. These are the simplest,
Right.
purest forms of these formulas, of these logical structures. LSAC has a million different ways to dress it up to make it more complicated. So they might require you to do contrapositives just to get to a point where it looks clean. Or they might make it a tough scientific topic, for example, with lots of advanced vocabulary, multisyllabic words. They might use words like unless, except, until, without. So there are lots of ways they can dress it up. And then you have to peel back those layers to see what's at the core.
Yeah, because when I did it, again, it's like I got it right, but I didn't see it as a restatement. I looked through it. I did the one I thought was the restatement was the wrong one, and I knew it was wrong because it didn't clear up the gap, but or I'm sorry, it didn't mend the gap, but it just, I don't know. I just didn't see it as a restatement. And later on, I guess I can give you an example of what I mean, but I want you to continue.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Yeah. I mean, some of the questions can get really tough, and it's all about how you frame it. But I'm asking folks, when you're going through sufficient assumptions, using that list, by the way, which is the same list I linked in the chat. So what you're talking about, for those curious, I put that in the chat there, and I'll put it again before we wrap up for this evening, and I'll link it with the video of this as well. But the idea is that when you're looking at a new sufficient assumption question, see if perhaps you can put it within one of these categories. Because if you can, it'll make it a lot more manageable, because at least you have a framework. Kind of like in logic games, you have ordering, grouping, combinations. If you see a new game and you can relate it back to one of those previous ones you've done, it'll make it seem at least a little bit more manageable. And obviously, not every game fits into one category neatly. There may be some sufficient assumption questions that don't even fit to any one of these 6 or 7 categories, but many of them will, probably most of them will. And if you could see that, all the better. Thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already to be notified of new episodes as I release them. And feel free to reach out if you need anything at all as you move forward with your prep. I'm happy to help however I can. In the meantime, I'll wish you all the best and take care.